Welcome to Red-Handed Crimes channel. Don't forget to subscribe.
This is Cold Silence. The woman in this video went missing 7 years ago, and to this day, her family still hasn't received any answers. This case will break your heart. It was December 2014 when Maura Murray vanished without a trace. Her abandoned car was found on the side of the road after she seemingly drove off an exit ramp. But where she went after that is what's so puzzling. Her phone was left behind, but it wasn't even on airplane mode. So how could someone just vanish without telling anyone? Well, the truth may be more sinister than we think. Maura's story begins in 1989. She was born in Boston, Massachusetts to her parents Edward and Kathleen. By all accounts, Maura had a typical upbringing. She loved being outdoors, hiking and biking with her friends. She would often write stories about magical adventures for her favorite stuffed animal, Mr. Green Jeans. And when she got older, she took up horseback riding. "I've always liked horses," she said. "My dream is to ride across the country." When Maura was 16, her parents got divorced and she moved with her father and stepmother to a farm in New Hampshire. Here, she lived with two stepsisters who were also adopted, giving Maura a total of 4 siblings. After graduating high school in 2007, Maura enrolled at UMass Amherst. There, she studied nursing while working part-time at a diner called the Blue Sun Cafe. According to her manager, Maura was a hard worker and was never late or called in sick. She also had many friends at college and her teachers really liked her. She was intelligent and was very well liked by her patients, so there was no reason for her to stop going to school and just run away from home. However, on February 2004, everything changed. It was around AM when Maura called 911 after discovering that her boyfriend had cheated on her. "He broke my heart," she said, crying. "I don't want to live anymore." That same day, she attempted to take her own life. Maura's family says that they noticed a change in her behavior ever since the suicide attempt. For instance, she would have mood swings out of nowhere. Sometimes she would spend days in bed doing nothing. Then other times she would become very hyperactive and couldn't sleep for days. Other times, she would go shopping and buy new clothes and makeup. Then she would return the next day asking for her money back. At one point, she told her father that she wanted to get a tattoo and piercing. She also developed a habit of biting her nails and picking at her skin. All of these behaviors are consistent with someone suffering from PTSD. But even so, none of them paint the picture of someone who would abandon their life and not tell anyone. And that's why the day that Maura disappeared was such a shock. In the months leading up to her disappearance, Maura began feeling unwell. She told her friends that she had been having blackouts and she also suffered from memory loss. She described one such blackout in a journal entry. "I went to class, then came home and proceeded to lay in bed for 3 days," she wrote. "I didn't eat, drink or speak. When I went to the bathroom, I thought I was in a different world. Like, I can't believe I'm actually here. Like, this isn't real. I kept thinking someone was trying to kidnap me." On February 2014, Maura asked her roommate if she could take over the lease because she was considering dropping out of school. A month later, she told her family that she was taking a leave of absence from school. In early December, Maura began emailing her friends about hearing strange noises in her apartment. At first, they thought it was funny, but then they realized that she was becoming genuinely scared. On December 9th, she sent her friend Lauren an email. "Lauren, I need help. I swear I'm going crazy. There's been so many scary things happening. Just please call me." 2 days later, on December 11th, Maura's father received a call from campus police saying that his daughter had been reported missing. He immediately drove to Amherst and began searching for her. At first, he wasn't too worried. His daughter was an adult and he knew that she sometimes liked to disappear for a few days. But as the hours passed by, he began to panic. He spent the night knocking on doors and calling her friends. He even went to the local hospital to see if she had checked herself in. But unfortunately, there was no sign of his daughter. The next morning, Edward called all of the hospitals again and then filed a missing person report. Meanwhile, detectives were able to track Maura's cell phone to a Walmart parking lot. They obtained footage from the store's security cameras and saw that she had indeed been there. She was wearing her trademark bright pink jacket, which gave the police some hope that she was alive. But then they got a call from a state trooper who had spotted Maura's abandoned car on the side of the road. Maura's car was found at the exit ramp of Interstate 91 near the town of Deerfield, about 15 miles south of where her cell phone had last been detected. It appeared as though she had driven off the exit ramp and then gone down a long wooded trail. But after walking almost a mile, the trail came to an abrupt end. There was no sign of a struggle, which suggested that Maura might have willingly gone down the trail. The police did find a few items nearby, including her purse, keys, and cell phone. But there was still no sign of Maura. Her pink jacket was found a few days later on the side of a road. But still, there was no sign of her. As time went on, the police began receiving weird tips. Some people claimed that they had seen her in Washington, D.C. Others said they had seen her hitchhiking along the side of the road, but none of these leads panned out. In the years since Maura has vanished, the police have followed up on hundreds of leads, but none of them have led anywhere. The case went cold. There are two prevailing theories as to what happened to Maura. One is that she was kidnapped. However, there is absolutely no evidence of foul play. Her car was unlocked and her purse was left behind. If someone had kidnapped her, it would make sense that they would want to get rid of her car. Also, there were no witnesses and no one in the area had seen anything suspicious. The second theory is that Maura walked into the woods and somehow died. However, the woods were searched with no sign of a body. The police even used cadaver dogs to search for human remains, but they came back negative. There were no signs of trauma, so she wasn't beaten or stabbed. And there were no signs of decomposition, so she likely didn't die right away. What this means is that either her body was moved or the dogs simply missed whatever body fluids remained. In 2019, a group of volunteers used ground-penetrating radar to search for Maura's body. However, they only discovered animal bones. Since the case has gone cold, Maura's family has taken matters into their own hands. Every year, they travel to New Hampshire to hang flyers and hand out pamphlets with her picture on them. They implore anyone with information to come forward. "We believe that somewhere out there, someone knows what happened to Maura," they said in an interview. "That's why we continue to do this. We need answers. We want justice for our daughter." One of the most heartbreaking aspects of this case is that Maura's family doesn't even know if she is still alive. It's been 7 years since she disappeared. And while it's true that some people like to disappear for a while, it's simply out of character for Maura. She had plans for the future. She wanted to marry her boyfriend and start a family. The fact that she left her phone behind also suggests that she didn't plan on coming back. If she had known that she would be gone for an extended period of time, she would have brought her phone. What makes this case even stranger is that Maura seemed like she was in a good place in life. Sure, she struggled with mental health issues, but what student doesn't? She had friends, a loving family, and a promising career. So why did she suddenly vanish? Was she planning on starting a new life somewhere else? Did she get mixed up with the wrong crowd? Or was something more sinister at play? Unfortunately, we may never get these questions answered. What do you think happened to Maura Murray? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.